Hi, my name is Erin Richards. I am from Chicago, the Chicago area. Right now I live in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and what brought me here is a job that I do. I work in an admissions organization, and so people come to Florida to do volunteer work for a week at a time. We feed them 3 meals a day and house them, and then they go out in the community and do volunteer work with organizations such as Habitat for Humanity, Salvation Army, other things like that. So I just was so passionate about that, I moved down to Florida and transferred to Florida Atlantic. I primarily identify myself as a student just because I probably put the most time into being a student. I work part-time at Epic Missions, and most of my job is making schedules and coordinating between our clients' desires and setting it up with our ministries and nonprofits that we work with. We offer an adoptive family, which means that we look for a family in need in the community. We try to assess their needs and see what a volunteer team could do to meet those needs. So that involves conducting home visits, talking with the family, seeing what they need, and seeing what we can provide. Yeah, I would say the most social work thing that I've done is just doing those home visits and seeing houses and meeting families and working with a number of nonprofits and seeing how they operate. I've also worked with state foster children at a place called Hibiscus House. There's one in Vero Beach, there's one in Jensen Beach. I work with the Vero Beach kids, and so they live in a group home. They've been removed from their home, and I would see them at least once a week. I still see them occasionally, and they would come to our property to do youth group or recreation or just basically showing them love, feeding them desserts, whatever. And so I've built relationships with those kids, and that's been really impactful and given me a lot of insight on the child welfare system and sort of encouraged my interest in it. My goal upon graduation is to go to grad school and become a licensed clinical social worker. I am interested mostly in mental health with adolescents, since I've seen a lot of my friends go through things, and coming out the other end of childhood can be rough, so I just like to help people sort through all that. My most important personal attribute, I think, would be just like caring deeply about people and their situation and really wanting to see things through and get to that end point. I think I'd be interested in like long-term work and seeing a client meet some of their goals rather than sort of a place where I would be putting on a band-aid or referring them out. I would rather be the one that takes them in for a longer period of time. What am I worried about in this class? I don't know, maybe there being like a lot of reading. I am more excited because I think it'll be a really interesting topic, and so I think I'm ready to read. I value most in fellow students like bouncing ideas off of each other. I'd rather that we all be like honest and focused, but also like able to discuss our thoughts and where we're feeling on the different assignments. So I was very interested in the video that talked about working in child welfare. I think it does get a really bad reputation, and it's really not what people think it is. I liked that there were the different roles explained because people usually think of just the intake person and they don't realize that there's so much more to it. I think I would be interested in family preservation because it is one of the more getting to know a personal relationship and getting to see it through with that family and really finding out what their needs are and finding out how to meet their needs, which I think is sort of a position I'd like to be in. One I wouldn't like to do is like foster parent support, because I feel like you're on the outside, you're just checking in every once in a while, and you know, I am not a parent, I'm young, so I don't know, I don't think I would be good at that. So that is all the questions.